society. So being a leader in this type of dream to serve job, you need to have certain parameters which I have mentioned earlier also. That is what is mentioned here. And again, the leadership and who is a leader and what is leadership. We have discussed about it. Leadership is nothing but that is an act of motivating a group of people to achieve certain things. Whereas a leader is someone who is inspirational, who will make the employee or the team member to follow your mission or vision, whatever you want to do on his own, without we instructing. That comes from within of your team member, whereas motivation is external. So some of the traits or the elements which every leader should possess, like irrespective of whatever you do, generally a person, even as a family head, like if you take a family, head of the family, he's a leader for the family. If you take a small group, so he is going to lead, he is going to decide everything. He has a vision. He wanted to make his son get some medical admission, and he wanted to get married, the daughter to get married. So he will have to lead the family, and the members of the family have to follow his instruction. This is what, again, another problem which every day we will be facing. So what leadership traits, if we have, we will be successful. The first and foremost, which I see as very important, is honest and integrity. That is very, very essential as a leader, because they look at us and learn. So whatever we are, they just follow. So honesty and integrity, self-confidence, emotional stability, cognitive ability, knowledge of the business, drive, and desire to lead. So we will see one by one. So leadership trait, we have seen that especially a talent, if you say a talent, that is inborn. I always believe certain talents are inborn. So how do we identify the talent? Every child will have a difficulty to know his own strength. Even after growing up, they will not know what is the talent they possess and what is the strength of them which is inbuilt. So how do we know that? So certain things when we do it in very ease. We can do it very easily. Whereas compared to that, some people will be thinking it is very difficult to do. So for example, a person who sings, who writes a poem, who can dance, who can play some veena, or who plays cricket, every individual thing, for them it is very simple. Whereas for us, we will feel how difficult it is, how he is able to do. If you go and talk to them, they will say it's very simple. Why do you say it is difficult? So that is nothing but an inborn talent of that particular person. That is why it comes out very easily. Even in a school, there will be some class representatives. How do they select the class representatives or leaders? That person is capable of managing the class. He is able to make people listen to him and follow his instructions. So that is an inborn talent of the child to lead. So that is where we identify that this boy has an inborn talent of leading. So this leadership quality is also similar to that wherever you are as a team member or as a CEO, because we have seen all these CAT exams. You will not have a repeated question paper in CAT. Whatever the training school gives you training on CAT, the question paper will be totally different. So that depends upon an individual. He has to think and logically answer the paper. He has to be unique in that. One cannot by heart certain things and become a manager. One cannot by heart something and pass in the CAT exam. So something like you have to have that inbuilt characteristics. Only then you will be able to perfectly perform that particular role. So like that, leadership is something which cannot be taught. If you have certain characteristics already, and you can enhance your skill by catching up, by seeing somebody. You can just get inspired by another leader. They say that he is my godfather. I follow that person. He is everything. He is a role model for me. So this all comes because there will be a small alignment with this person and that great leader, where he start following that particular leader, and tomorrow he becomes a great leader. Unless or otherwise you have some certain inborn nature of leading, because leading is something you need to have that charisma. You need to have that controlling power. You need to understand. You need to have empathy. This is one thing which people neglect. Empathy is very, very essential because you need to understand what they feel. Unless you understand what they feel, if you keep telling whatever you want, you will not be able to get success. So this is where we fall short. Where we cannot be always commanding as leaders. We need to sit, understand. We need to create leaders, not followers. So this sort of attitude if we have, we will allow them to do certain things which we don't restrict. No, that is not your job. We will not tell our team member no. If he is capable of doing, encourage. You will have more support with successful leaders in your team. So this is an inbuilt quality, and also great leaders are born and not made. You cannot train them and become a leader. It has to come on its own. Leadership skill has to come on its own. So desire to lead, as he said, unless or otherwise you have a passion towards leading a team, it is impossible for them. They cannot do it as a job. One cannot take the leadership as a job.
You made a statement that leaders are